So recently, Wuthering Waves has been doing really good with their version 2.0 and also 2.1 update, releasing a lot of new characters that have actually been really successful in terms of players actually pulling them and kind of making a lot of revenue off it in turn. And obviously very soon, it even might be whenever this video actually comes out, Brant is actually releasing, which a lot of people are very excited for. We had the whole trailer and it seems like a lot of people are going to be pulling on it. But how did the previous 5-star Resonator Phoebe actually do compared to a lot of the other characters so far, and how many people actually pulled for her? Well, we actually have a ton of information on how she did compared to some of the other characters, and we're going to be going through a lot of details on, why people pulled for her, why people didn't pull for her, and also some other stuff as well, and also including where we think Brant is going to fit in on this list and what it could mean for the future of Wuthering Waves in general. Before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy it, and also go to Game Subs, use my code CASA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, let's get back into the video. So this was the post that actually came up. Now, obviously, in my last video, we actually covered a different report from Ofa. Now, Ofa is a user over on r/Wuthering Waves, and they make a lot of these kind of report things to do with some of the characters that have come out. Now, all of this data is actually based off of wuwa Tracker, meaning that wuwa Tracker is a separate website where people can actually go and log all of their pulls. If you've ever seen people being like, oh, I'm so unlucky, and then show their pity on each of the characters, that's usually on wuwa Tracker, because again, they have some kind of function there which pretty much allows them to track a lot of the pulls and everything like that, and also track, what characters people have. So this is all based off of people that use wuwa Tracker, so it's only a small data set. So some of this data could actually change in terms of actually every player and every player that doesn't use wuwa Tracker, because again, there could be a ton of people that pull for a certain character that maybe just doesn't come up in this report. But as you can see, we've actually covered this many times on this channel, and it's mainly stayed the same. And you can see first to 7th place, the only change that has actually been done is actually Carlotta and Chang-Li. Now, this is a big trend that we'll see in this kind of chart in the future, because I will plan on covering this more in the future, is that characters that are like kind of newer, sometimes it'll take a little bit of time for them to actually reach, the amount of pulls that they've actually gotten, with Carlotta actually gaining 15,000 more people that have pulled her. So again, that's a massive difference. And even Shorekeeper, Jinshi, and Camellia are also gaining massive numbers as well, with 9,000 and 8,000, and that's just people coming into the website and actually, logging that they've actually got them. This doesn't mean they're like pulling them, during like the time whenever their banner's not out or anything. It just means that they're logging the characters, and we're getting a pretty much better data set. But with characters like Carlotta, for example, some people just forgot to do it after the banner, so that means there is going to be a little bit more of an increase than some of the other characters that are getting increased. So again, that is just to be expected, and that's also something we could expect to see with Phoebe. Now, let's get on to where Phoebe is, and as you can probably tell, she is not in the top 7. If we actually go over to the post for the other characters, we can see that she's actually come in 9th place, just under Gian, with 30,000 pulls, which honestly, I don't think is that bad. I feel like Phoebe at 30,000 pulls is actually a really good spot for her at the moment. As I said, it will go up, so I hope that it probably will go up, higher than Gian's. You can see Zheja is 67,000, so that is pretty high, and obviously that went up with the release of Carlotta, and she's a very useful character with Carlotta and Jinshi, so a lot of people were pulling her on our rerun and stuff like that. Gian at 48,000, Phoebe at 30,000, Rocha at 19,000, and then Zhang Liao at 9,000. Now, obviously, we've already talked about this before. Zhang Liao at 9,000 is to be expected, obviously, because he was a free character, so not a lot of people pulled on him. I didn't pull on him, but I still have him, and he's still a great character, and that's because he came up for free, and, you don't really need to pull on him unless you want constellations. Now, Rocha was in 10th place, mainly because of kind of her limited, I guess, abilities. I feel like a lot of people weren't that interested in it unless you really wanted a great support for Camellia and stuff like that. She can do a lot of other stuff as well, don't get me wrong. She was really useful for stuff like Wuthering Waves, where she can do a little bit of crowd control and stuff like that, but overall, a lot of people just weren't very satisfied with her kit, which again, that's just more of a preference thing rather than an actual game problem thing. She's just a little bit too niche at the moment, but she could improve in the future with a lot of future characters coming out. Now, Phoebe in 9th place, obviously, I was kind of expecting this. I feel like Phoebe, although she was a very popular character and a lot of people really liked her, like, don't get me wrong, 30,000 pulls is still good. That's almost 18,000 off of Gian, who was a very big character whenever Wuthering Waves first came out. But Phoebe, I think, again, she had a kit that a lot of people didn't understand, and that's why a lot of people just didn't pull for her. Now, her kit is pretty simple once you actually learn it and try to understand it, but for that first little learning curve, it can be a little bit difficult. So I do understand why a lot of people maybe played the trial, maybe saw some gameplay or something like that, and went, I think I'm going to be alright, I'm going to pull on one of the newer characters, which are coming out later. Now, this could be for several factors. This could be for Brant. Obviously, Brant is coming out very, very soon. He literally just had his trailer. So again, he's going to be out soon, and a lot of people are going to be really wanting him. And so maybe people skip Phoebe for that because they wanted Brant on the same kind of version. So again, it was to be expected that that could happen. But also the drip marketing of Cantarella, and also people are really expecting Zani to come out soon, obviously because of her involvement in the story. You know, people are going to be saving up for those characters as well, because me, for example, I'm going to be skipping on Brant because I feel like I want to pull for both of them, and it's going to be quite hard, especially if they come out really soon in banners. I don't know when that's going to be. I have zero clue when that's going to be, but again, you know, if they're close, it's going to be pretty terrible for me as someone who doesn't spend, you know, much on the game at all, and it could be pretty bad for a lot of free-to-play players as well. And that's probably why a lot of people have been skipping on Phoebe, and a lot of people might skip on Brant in the future. And that's why I think whenever Brant does come out, and whenever the kind of report for this comes out for Brant, I feel like it's going to be a little bit lower. I feel like he's going to be maybe just above Phoebe, maybe just below Phoebe. I think he's going to be in the same range as kind of Phoebe. Now, this isn't to say that this is anything to do with his character or with his combat or anything like that. I think they've just like kind of timed it poorly, and it's just a really bad timing in terms of all the other characters around it. Now, obviously, a lot of people online are going to be spouting that, oh, this is because he's a male character and male characters don't sell. That's not the case. I feel like he was just kind of shafted here with the overall timing of his banner and the overall timing of some of the, you know, drip marketing and other releases that are coming out, because I know a lot of other people that are going to be skipping Brant for some of these newer characters, for example, like Cantarella, because Cantarella is a character that a lot of people really, really want. And obviously, in terms of weapons as well, I haven't actually talked about this, but the Last Dance actually went up to second place. Obviously, it had a very high crit damage, which again, a lot of people really liked. Age of Harvest actually went down, which kind of surprised me, seeing as Jinshi just had a rerun. But again, it is great to see that, you know, lots of people are still pulling on weapons and stuff like that. And obviously, with the whole guaranteed system, it really helps out people whenever it comes to making that decision to actually pull a weapon. Because in other games like Genshin Impact and other games like that, I'm sometimes like tossing, like I'm and ahhing, like, should I really get this weapon? I don't think I really need it. I've got a lot of other options as well. But having that guaranteed thing just makes me go, oh, you know what? I might as well give it a try. It's guaranteed. It's not like I'm going to lose a 50-50 or anything like that, which honestly, I think feels really, really great. And obviously, that is one of the benefits of having a really good weapon banner over on Wuthering Waves. But overall, I feel like these numbers were pretty much to be expected. Obviously, let me know down in the comments if you guys weren't expecting some of these, because I think that, you know, Carlotta, again, I feel like she is going to bump up maybe even higher than Jinshi soon, because she has been a pretty major character in terms of just popularity, in terms of a lot of her trailers and stuff. I mean, she's already overtaken Chang-Li, who only got 16 since the last one, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. Everyone else is in the thousands. Jeju went up by 5,000, obviously because of her rerun. Yinlin went up by 1,000 still. Jinshi went up by 5,000, Shorekeeper went up by 8,000, and Camellia up by 9,000, and Zhang Li was only at 16. That's kind of crazy, and maybe that's due to her kit, and maybe that's due to a lot of other stuff. I don't really know, but again, she hasn't had a banner yet or anything like that, so maybe it will be boosted once she has her rerun banner or something like that, because again, I feel like she is being absolutely shafted there, and she might even drop lower and lower. But again, she does have a 30,000 gap between her and Yinlin, so it should be okay. And Carlotta, I feel like she is going to rise to probably at least third place, and maybe even go even higher, because again, she was a very popular character at the time. Although Jinshi is a very strong character, you know, Carlotta just has that kind of appeal in kind of character design and everything like that, which honestly I totally get. I prefer Carlotta to Jinshi, and you know, strike me down or anything like that, I don't really care. But again, I feel like Jinshi is a good character and does provide a lot of damage and stuff like that, if not even more damage than Carlotta. Just personally, in terms of character design, in terms of the character itself, I prefer Carlotta, just because, you know, I'm a massive Carlotta simp, I'm gonna be honest. But again, if you guys did enjoy this video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that this analysis of this was good? And, you know, do you think Phoebe was placed in the right place for now, and was this what you were expecting? Or did you expect Phoebe to be a bit higher, a bit lower, or anything like that? Because I feel like she's actually even a little bit higher than I thought she was gonna do, you know? She's almost double of what Rocha did, which honestly I think is a massive achievement still. And, you know, even though it's 9th place, not every character can be an absolute banger like Carlotta, like Jinshi, like Shorekeeper, like Camellia, which again, it's okay, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in the future. That's all. See ya.